An anime begins with Jin-woo, a child hated by everyone just because of the strange horns growing from his head. Wherever he went, people called him a devil, threw stones at him, and treated him like he had been born only to bring destruction. But the painful truth was that Jin-woo was never a monster. He was only a lonely child who had lost his entire village during a brutal monster attack, and after that tragedy, a powerful sorceress named Alma raised him like her own son. The problem was that Jin-woo lived in a world where sorcerers fought terrifying monsters using magic, yet he himself could not use proper magic at all. Everyone believed he was just a useless loser, but nobody knew that the world's strongest spellbook had been sealed inside his body. And one day, the same people who hated him would beg him for mercy. One day, while Alma was away, Jin-woo secretly picked up her magic book and started reading a spell in front of his only friend, hoping that maybe this time something would finally happen. But no matter how hard he tried, not even a tiny spark of magic appeared. Jin-woo quickly realized that memorizing thick books and chanting complicated spells was simply not his style. So instead of following normal methods, he created his own spell and used it in his own reckless way. And somehow, it actually worked. A massive rock suddenly shot through the air and crashed directly into the cowshed. The cows instantly went wild and started chasing him like they had sworn to destroy him that very day. Luckily, Alma arrived in time and stopped them with her wind magic, but even her powers could not stop the villagers' poisonous hatred. The villagers began throwing stones at Alma while shouting that ever since monsters like them had appeared in the village, all happiness had disappeared. So why did they not just leave already? Jin-woo became furious and yelled, "This was my mistake, so why are you dragging Alma into it?" But Alma already understood there was no point arguing with ignorant people whose hatred was louder than their reason. She quietly took Jin-woo back home and punished him by making him clean the outer walls. And honestly, what else could she even do? In this world, monsters fell from the sky, and the people who fought and killed them were called sorcerers. Since no monsters had appeared near the village for many years, the villagers had slowly started treating sorcerers themselves like monsters. Even so, Jin-woo's dream of becoming a real wizard never disappeared. And because of that, the moment Alma left home again, he sneaked out once more to practice magic. His friend Tommy warned him that his family had forbidden him from spending time with sorcerers like Jin-woo because they believed it would put his life in danger. At that exact moment, they saw a giant egg falling from the sky, and Jin-woo immediately remembered reading about it before. The egg belonged to a deadly monster. Alma was not around either, so Jin-woo decided he would protect the villagers himself. Fear instantly spread through the entire village because nobody had ever seen something so terrifying before. Jin-woo prepared himself to stop it alone, but the moment the monster hatched, it attacked him so violently that it felt as if every bone in his body had shattered at once. Then he saw Tommy trapped in danger. Before the monster could crush his friend, Jin-woo threw himself in front of him and screamed for Tommy to run away while he himself was crushed beneath the monster's terrifying strength. He fought with everything he had, but nothing worked, and for a moment, it felt like the world was about to destroy him before he could ever prove himself. Suddenly, a powerful attack came flying from the sky and blasted the monster away. The people behind that attack were a group of sorcerers, and they managed to trap the monster for a short time. Their leader looked at Jin-woo and smiled before saying, "Not bad, kid. In this entire village, you're the only one who actually looks brave." Seeing sorcerers other than Alma made Jin-woo incredibly happy, and he quickly replied, "You helped me, so now I want to help you too. Let me fight this monster with you." But the villagers still refused to trust him. They warned the sorcerers not to rely on Jin-woo because of the demon-like horns on his head, believing he was cursed. Hearing this, the leader pointed at his own bald head and joked, "I've got wings on my head too, so does that make me evil?" Then he looked at Jin-woo and said, "This boy is innocent and we believe in him. Go stop that monster and live your life. Until then, I'll handle these villagers." As soon as the monster broke free again, Jin-woo rushed into battle. But during the chaos, those sorcerers secretly locked the villagers inside buildings and began robbing the bank. That was when the truth became clear. They were never heroes at all. They were simply criminals using monster attacks as opportunities to steal money and escape. Meanwhile, Jin-woo somehow managed to bind the monster with chains. But then he suddenly heard Tommy screaming. He rushed over immediately, only to discover the horrifying truth standing right in front of him. Burning with anger, Jin-woo shouted, "Aren't you supposed to be sorcerers? Isn't protecting people your duty? Then why are you doing this?" The leader coldly answered that there was no reason to protect people like these villagers because no matter how much good Jin-woo did for them, they would always hate him in the end. Hearing that, one villager shouted, "I knew it! Sorcerers like you could never be good. That boy is with you too, isn't he?" Another villager added, "See, I already warned everyone this would happen." The leader then tossed Jin-woo a bag of money as payment for helping distract the monster, but Jin-woo answered with his fist and punched him so hard that his cheek instantly swelled up. "I'm nothing like you." Jinwoo growled, before attacking the rest of the gang as well. However, one of the criminals possessed a reflection ability, causing Jinwoo to take damage from his own attacks. Realizing how much potential Jinwoo had, the leader decided not to kill him. Instead, he wanted Jinwoo to stay alive and witness the true nature of humanity with his own eyes. At that exact moment, the monster finally broke free from the chains and returned. The criminals abandoned everyone and escaped immediately while the monster began charging a deadly beam attack. The villagers trembled in fear, but right then, Jinwoo slowly stood up with a smile. When the monster fired its devastating beam, Jinwoo stopped it with his bare hands. The energy was so powerful that his gloves began ripping apart, but he still refused to move until the attack finally stopped. However, the monster prepared another blast almost immediately. This time, Jinwoo gathered every ounce of strength left inside him and unleashed a monstrous Titan punch without using his gloves at all. The punch tore straight through the monster's body, like a giant hole through a donut, and for the first time, Jinwoo breathed peacefully. But the monster still rose again, and now Jinwoo's body had completely run out of strength. Thankfully, Alma arrived at the perfect moment, destroyed the monster once and for all, and saved Jinwoo before it was too late. Sometime later, Jinwoo woke up covered in bandages. Alma told him that everyone was safe now and that the criminal sorcerers had been arrested as well. Jinwoo felt relieved, but Alma immediately scolded him by saying, "Didn't I warn you never to use magic without your gloves?" In this world, sorcerers could not use magic without special gloves, and if the Holy Knights ever discovered a boy capable of using magic barehanded, they would take him away immediately. Jinwoo worried that the villagers might tell them everything, but Alma simply told him not to be ridiculous because those villagers would never truly understand their situation anyway. Even so, Jinwoo refused to give up and declared, "I'll make them believe us. We are good people, and I'll prove it by destroying every monster in this world." Alma sadly told him not to chase impossible dreams and asked if he even understood how many monsters existed across the world. Jinwoo simply answered, "If I don't know, then I'll find out." Alma then explained that for centuries, people had spoken about a mysterious place called Radiant, the place where all monsters were believed to come from, yet nobody had ever found it or returned alive after searching for it. Jinwoo immediately decided that one day he would go there himself, but Alma only sighed and called it an ancient fairy tale. Later that night, after Jinwoo fell asleep, Alma sat alone remembering the first time she had met him. Jinwoo remembered absolutely nothing except that Alma had saved him from a burning village, and during that same tragedy, Alma herself had lost all of her memories too. She did not remember who she truly was or what her connection to Jinwoo had been, so she simply raised him like her own child. For years, Alma searched for clues about her identity, but she never found anything. Still, one thing remained certain in her heart. She was a sorcerer, and Jinwoo was one too. One day, Alma left for another mission to hunt down a monster, leaving Jinwoo alone at home, and during that time, while Jinwoo was making a snowman, some children from the nearby village came there and started bothering him. Jinwoo still tried to explain himself and said, "I didn't do anything," but even then, they beat him badly while calling him a cursed child. Then, without warning, his power went out of control. When Alma returned, she found that her house had been destroyed and Jinwoo was missing. The villagers wanted to burn him alive because they believed that if Jinwoo touched them, they would also become cursed, as if he was carrying some kind of deadly virus. But before they could burn him, all their fire suddenly went out and Alma appeared in front of them. She walked straight to the man standing at the front and touched him, then said, "Now you are cursed too?" Hearing this, all the villagers became terrified and ran away. After Alma saved Jinwoo, he started crying and said, "I was scared." Alma gently told him not to worry because she would never let anything happen to him, and that was the reason Alma took Jinwoo far away from everyone and built her home up in the sky. In the present, Alma looked at Jinwoo's clothes and quietly said, "You've grown up so fast. Now you want to go on a journey all alone." The next day, as soon as Jinwoo woke up, he tried to leave the house, but Alma was already waiting for him. Jinwoo said, "Even if you try to stop me, I'm not going to stay." But Alma did not scold him. Instead, she gave him a few things and said, "Just promise me one thing. Never become a monster like you did that day." Along with that, she also sealed his gloves for him. Jinwoo said, "I'll come back as the greatest sorcerer in the world." After that, he started leaving, but halfway through he turned back, hugged Alma, and began crying. Alma told him to take care of himself. Then Jinwoo flew away on his broom, and we saw Alma also start crying. She had not cried in front of Jinwoo because she did not want him to become weak, but now that he was gone, she could no longer control herself. On the way, Jinwoo saw the villagers saying goodbye to him. He waved back at them and left to search for Radiant. 3 days passed, and Jinwoo ended up crashing into a place he was supposed to avoid at all costs. That place belonged only to the Holy Knights, and when they tried to arrest him, Jinwoo started fighting them instead. They surrounded him from every side, so Jinwoo used his magic to push them all away. The captain said, "So you're a sorcerer, huh? You're using magic right in front of us. Show me your identity card or permit." Jinwoo asked, "Something like like that exists too? The captain took all his belongings and locked him inside a cage where he could not use magic. Then the captain said, "You're going to spend 10 years in prison for being a sorcerer without a permit." Jinwoo shouted, "Let me go! I still have to find Radiant." The captain had also heard stories about Radiant, so he warned him, "Kid, if you care about your life, don't go around saying that word everywhere." After that, Jinwoo was sent into a dark place, and there he remembered Alma's words. She had told him to hide his horns and go to Artemis town, because many researchers and sorcerers live there, and among them, he had to meet the strongest sorcerer, Yaga, because only he could tell him where Radiant might be. Jinwoo regretted everything and thought, "I didn't listen to her and now I'm trapped here." Just then his eyes fell on a strange bird that belonged to a girl whose hair looked like a beehive. She told him, "I came from Artemis town to complete a mission, but I lost my way and somehow ended up here." Luckily, Jinwoo was going to that same village to collect the leftover corpse of the monster. Millie explained that her boss could provide identity proof for her, but she had gotten separated from him. The two were about to shake hands and become friends, but at that very moment her boss arrived there with an earthquake-like entrance. He quickly showed his identity proof so he could escape from there because he was carrying a monster corpse, and keeping that was illegal. But then Millie called out from behind, "You came to save me?" And because of her, the Holy Knights captured him too. Her boss angrily said, "You crazy girl, why did you tell them you were going to collect a monster corpse?" Millie replied, "They asked me, so I told them." During their conversation, Jinwoo found out that this man had gone to his village to bring back the monster corpse, so he proudly said, "I'm the one who defeated that monster." Dog got angry and said, "So you're the one who ruined its value." Then he became depressed and said, "Now we're going to rot here forever." Meanwhile, Millie's pet secretly stole the key from a holy knight and brought it back. The three of them escaped from the cage and were about to run away, but then Jinwoo remembered his belongings, so they all started looking for them first. During this, the captain spotted them, and before the soldiers could attack, Jinwoo used a Titan punch and sent them flying away. Jinwoo and the others got their belongings back, but when the soldiers attacked again, Millie saved Jinwoo. However, now they were completely trapped. In the middle of this tense situation, Millie transformed into her unfamiliar form, becoming extremely aggressive as she started attacking them. Her attacks had become very powerful. To settle the matter quickly, the captain himself stepped in. But before anything could happen to Millie, Jinwoo attacked the ship and disturbed its balance, then grabbed both of them and brought them onto Dog's ship. Dog immediately took the ship away and escaped from there. Meanwhile, the captain had already seen Jinwoo using magic without gloves, and he was completely shocked. A little while later, they reached the gate of Artemis City. Finally, Jinwoo went to get himself registered. As soon as he entered, Dog became worried because now he would have to act as this mad boy's guardian. Then Dog suddenly got an idea to get rid of him and started convincing him, saying, "If you want to meet Yaga, you need to complete your resident registration here first." When Jinwoo entered the city, he became very happy. Millie told him that this place was called the Paradise of Sorcerers because here nobody would stop him from using magic. For the entrance ceremony, all the people of the city had gathered to welcome the new sorcerers. Then the founder of Artemis City appeared, and that founder was a cat named Majesty. He welcomed the new people, including Jinwoo, and told them that they only had to sign one contract to live there and use all the facilities and items of the city. Jinwoo did not even think for 1 second and signed the paper like a complete fool. But when everyone signed their contracts, they found out they had been trapped. In the contract, they saw that a huge debt had now been placed on them, and because Jinwoo had already signed the paper, he could not run away from it either. This was exactly what Dog wanted, because he wanted to get rid of Jinwoo, but then his own turn came. Some people arrived and said, "You signed as his guardian, right? That means Jinwoo's debt is now on you too." Dog cried, "What? I'm a poor man. How am I supposed to pay this money?" Millie said, "Come on, what's done is done, so let's go find Yaga now." Then both of them started running around everywhere, going to one place after another, and because of their actions, Dog's debt kept increasing more and more. He begged in front of them and said, "Please don't do this. My mother gave birth to me poor." Still, they did not listen, and his debt continued to rise. At one place, Dog was giving Jinwoo some pocket money, but at that time, Millie got into a fight with a man, and her angry form caused a huge explosion. Now their debt had increased to 12 million. Dog reached the point where it looked like he might have to sell both his kidneys, but Jinwoo did not care about that at all. He simply said, "This place is so nice. Everyone here looks so happy." At that moment, a strange man appeared and said, "You seem new here. What do you think about Majesty and the Academy?" Jinwoo replied, "That cat looks like a shady guy to me, but nobody here calls me cursed. Everyone lives happily, and we can use magic here without any fear." The man started explaining why Majesty was so obsessed with collecting money, but suddenly, a danger alarm began ringing. The city was about to be attacked. Dog immediately understood that the Holy Knights had followed them there, and we saw a Holy Knights ship entering Artemis City, but the ship could not fully get inside. Majesty ordered them to step back, and that was when we learned that Majesty used money to make the city stronger. Many sorcerers arrived there, and the Holy Knight started sweating in fear because Artemis had both political and military power. Because of this, the Holy Knights backed away. At headquarters, the general decided to let Jinwoo go for now because the academy was too powerful and they could not go against it at the moment. The strange man then asked Jinwoo, "Why did you come here?" Jinwoo replied, "I came to ask Yaga about Radiant." The man said, "Nobody knows whether Radiant truly exists or not, so the best thing for you would be to stay here, eat, relax, and live your life peacefully. You'll be safe in this place." Jinwoo said, "Maybe I am safe here, but the outside world is not. Danger can fall on them at any moment, so I have to destroy Radiant as soon as possible." Seeing his dedication, the man decided to help him. Jinwoo asked, "You're such a short guy. How can you help us?" The man replied, "Because I am Yaga." Jinwoo gave Yaga the letter Alma had given him and said, "Now quickly tell me where Radiant is." But Yaga burned the letter and said, "Even though you know Alma, I'm not going to tell you anything until you prove to me that you are strong and worthy." To impress him, Jinwoo showed his Titan punch, but Yaga became even angrier. He said, "All you did was gather magic and throw a punch. In my eyes, that is not real magic. First learn magic properly, then come back to me." So the next day, Jinwoo went to Millie to learn magic, but she apologized and said, "Sorry, I can't teach you attack magic. That only belongs to my angry personality. But there is someone who can teach you." So now they went to Dog, who was about to propose to his crush that day, but when he suddenly saw them, he became scared. Then his crush arrived and asked about Jinwoo. Dog started explaining everything to her, but at that same moment, her father hit Dog and threw his flower far away, saying, "Don't try to act great in front of my daughter." Dog was not happy at all that Jinwoo had shown up, but Malwa found Jinwoo's dream very special and fully supported him. Seeing her like that, Dog became blinded by love and, in excitement, agreed to teach Jinwoo magic. But when the time came to actually teach him, Dog started cursing his own decision and said, "Was I bitten by a mad dog when I said yes to this?" Still, Dog had made a promise, so he had to keep it. He began reading from the book while Jinwoo tried to use it practically, but then it still did not work. Jinwoo refused to stop trying, and finally, it looked like he was about to use magic properly. But then, his power went completely out of control. Dog looked at him and said, "Listen to me carefully. Never make a bad decision just because of a girl." After that, Dog swore that he would never teach Jinwoo magic again. Millie felt bad for Jinwoo, and at that moment, her other personality became active. She wanted to teach Jinwoo magic, but her method was completely wrong. Dog tried to go and save his crush, but once again, he was thrown far away. Jinwoo started running for his life from Millie, while she chased him across the whole city and kept destroying everything in her path. Then Jinwoo saw that a bridge was about to fall on her. In that rush to save Millie, Jinwoo finally managed to use the meteor drop magic. At the same moment, Millie also returned to normal and started apologizing in fear for her mistake, saying, "Please forgive me and don't hate me." Jinwoo told her, "Hey, you actually helped me by bringing out the magic inside me." So now Jinwoo went back to Yaga and asked, "Now you can tell me where Radiant is, right?" But Yaga hit him and said, "Why don't you understand? Sorcerers far stronger than you have gone after it, but none of them ever succeeded. You still need to learn much more." Suddenly, Yaga attacked Jinwoo, and when he saw Jinwoo stopping the attack like that, Yaga said, "From now on, I'll teach you how to use magic." One problem had finally been solved, but then another problem appeared. Jinwoo had no place to live. He used to sleep in the garden, which of course was not free. So Dog clearly told him not to sleep there anymore. Because of that, Jinwoo went to ask Millie for help. She said, "Yes, I have an extra room in my house, and if you stay there, I won't feel lonely either." After this, Jinwoo's training began, but Yaga made his training extremely hard. During training, while Jinwoo was gathering magic, his gloves tore apart. Jinwoo started crying and said, "Alma gave me these gloves." Yaga told him, "Give those gloves to me." Jinwoo asked, "Then how will I legally use magic?" Yaga gave him special gloves that would stop him from gathering magic. Jinwoo did not like them, and when he tried to remove them, he received a strong electric shock. Jinwoo said, "How am I supposed to train in this condition?" Yaga replied, "You are not ready to learn magic yet. You only keep making explosions. You will never become strong like this until you find out why this is happening to you. And until then, don't even try to take off those gloves. Otherwise, I won't teach you magic." Later, Jinwoo complained that the old man had too many problems. Malwa's father told him, "Yaga's words may sound bitter, but he never says anything without a reason." Just then, Dog came to take both of them for some important work. Malwa offered him tea, but Dog said, "Sorry, Majesty is calling us today." Majesty told them, "You people have created the record for the highest debt in the whole city. If this continues, you will never be able to pay it back. Do one thing, either prepare to leave this place or start thinking about how to repay the money." Jinwoo said, "We want to repay pay the money by working. So the two of them got the job of cleaning the outer roof of Artemis City. On the other side, Dog was turning some kind of wheel and thinking, I'll finish this work quickly and then run back to Malwa. Meanwhile, while Jinwoo was working, he saw something coming from the sky toward Artemis. When he went there, he found out that it was the same group of sorcerer thieves who had come here to steal again. Both sides got scared after seeing each other there. When Millie reached home and saw the people from this underwear gang, she covered her face. Jinwoo told her that they were all thieves. Then they attacked Jinwoo and Millie. Millie used Meteor Drop on them and told Jinwoo that she had also practiced this move so she would not have to depend on her second personality anymore. But the underwear gang could use magic without gloves. When the gang started showing the power of their bombs, Jinwoo and the others realized that their underwear was also made from the same material as gloves, and that was why they could use magic through it. Because of their seed user, every attack got blocked. Dawn laughed and said, "You can't use magic right now because you're wearing black-silver gloves." He offered Jinwoo a deal, saying he could remove those gloves, but Jinwoo refused his offer. Dawn was still impressed by the attack Jinwoo had used before and said, "That one punch of yours destroyed that monster so badly. Seeing your power sealed like this doesn't feel right. Power is everything, and strong people deserve to use it." Jinwoo said he would never misuse his powers, and he would defeat all of them without magic. But then Dawn launched a combo attack. Millie blocked the attack, and because of that, her second personality became active. She blew two of his partners away, but they were still safe. Jinwoo ran toward them and told Millie to attack again. Using the explosion, Jinwoo jumped up and kicked Dawn in the face, knocking him down. Only the seed user was left, and Millie defeated him. And Millie then returns to her normal form, but Dawn stood up again, grabbed her, and threatened Jinwoo, saying, "Go and steal the treasure for me." But Millie's pet attacked Dawn and saved her. However, Dawn started falling from the roof. Jinwoo immediately jumped to save him. To ride his broom, he would have to remove his gloves, but if he did that, Yaga would never teach him magic again. Still, Jinwoo removed the gloves, endured the electric shock, and jumped, because he could not watch someone die right in front of him. Later, Jinwoo met Yaga and started apologizing to him, while Millie also supported him. Yaga said, "I'm not going to expel you because I saw everything." Now Yaga was ready to teach Jinwoo magic by modifying his gloves. Yaga explained that Jinwoo could not properly use magic with normal gloves because they were never made for him, and Alma had knowingly given him those gloves so he could stay safe. Jinwoo tried using magic again, and this time he was able to gather much more magic than before, that too without causing any blast. After this, Jinwoo and Millie reached a festival where a broom flying race was taking place. Jinwoo accepted the challenge because the debt on them was not going to disappear just by training, so they went to register in order to earn money. There, a spoiled child from a rich family had also come. His friends said that they were the ones who won the race every year. Their leader said, "I heard you're Alma's student. Alma is very famous in Artemis for hunting alone like a lion." But then he started making fun of her and said, "Honestly, I don't think those stories about that woman are even true." Jinwoo got angry and tried to fight him, saying, "Alma is powerful." So the boy challenged him and said, "Fine, if you defeat me, I'll accept it. If she is strong, then her student should be strong too." Jinwoo accepted the challenge and went to the racetrack, but there he found out that his broom was extremely old, while the others had the latest models. The race began, and Jinwoo started leaving everyone behind as he flew ahead. People were shocked after seeing him. At the same time, Majesty arrived in a giant robot, because he did not want anyone to take the prize money home, so he came to make the race even harder. Some racers were knocked out of the race, and then Majesty targeted Jinwoo, but Millie saved him. Jinwoo started moving toward Majesty to fight his giant robot. Majesty fired a laser beam at him, and everyone thought Jinwoo was finished. Everyone thought he must be finished, but Jinwoo survived because he had just learned how to use barrier magic, and right after that, he smashed the robot with a Titan punch and destroyed it completely. Majesty ran away to save his own life. Because of the explosion, Millie was sent flying, but Jinwoo quickly saved her, and now both of them continued the race together. The race was about to end, and that spoiled boy still had the advantage because he was ahead. But then, his two teammates started falling down, and their leader abandoned them and flew ahead, winning the race by himself. But no one clapped for him, because Jinwoo had already won everyone's hearts by saving his teammates. And that was the real sportsman spirit. Meanwhile, Dog was sitting in Malwa's cafe, thinking that with this much debt, he would never be able to marry Malwa. He checked the quest list kept on his desk, but there was not even one job suitable for him. Just then, a page fell on his face, and he found out that a monster hunting quest was offering a very good amount of money, but Dog rejected it because it was extremely dangerous. However, Jinwoo and Millie immediately came to him and started reading the quest. Even though Dog tried to stop them, they saw that the request had come from his horns. They searched for a quiet place to cross the sea. During the whole journey, Jinwoo kept asking useless questions and eating Dog's brain, until Dog told him to stay quiet because the people there could report them. They tried to find the address, but since this place was new to them, they were having a lot of trouble. Dog became tired from walking so much. At that moment, Millie noticed that her pet, Mr. Bubbly, had disappeared. She went with Jinwoo to look for him and found him in a dark place, where he angrily started slapping Millie. Just then, something very fast passed behind them. Millie said that it must be the monster, so they started chasing it. But the monster was extremely fast and attacked them. They moved away and balanced themselves, and then they realized there were two identical monsters there. Jinwoo remembered Yaga's words, kept his training in mind, and used a new move called Skull Attack. One monster was defeated, but then someone played a flute, and both rat monsters started returning somewhere. Jinwoo chased them and set a trap so Millie could attack from above. But suddenly, many rat monsters appeared, and all of them were running in the same direction, as if someone was controlling them. Jinwoo followed them, but someone pulled him from the side and slammed him into a wall. His broom also broke. Jinwoo saw a man dressed like a mummy. That man introduced himself as Grim and said that these monsters were his prey. He said, "These monsters are clues to a mystery I'm searching for." Jinwoo ignored him, and Grim attacked him. Jinwoo attacked back. His pet angrily launched many attacks on Grim, but none of the attacks had any effect on him. Then both their attacks collided, causing a huge explosion. Hearing the sound of such a massive blast, Millie reached there and launched a dangerous attack on Grim. But Grim stopped the fight because too much noise had already been made, and people would come there soon. He said, "I'm sorry, so I'll leave for now, but I promise you, we'll meet again soon." After that, the local people and the holy knights arrived there. Jinwoo and Millie quickly ran away, but everyone had already seen them, and the soldiers informed their captain Conrad about it. Conrad ordered them to catch those sorcerers immediately.